Norse goddess Hel. She is the goddess of the underworld. She shows that women have dark sides as well. She is archetype of a woman's dark side, which shows that women could be just as scary and violent as men, especially if they are psychotic. Japanese goddess Amaterasu. She is the goddess of the sun. The sun goddesses represent the power and the force of the light of the sun. Today we are more likely to associate the goddess with the energy and phases of the moon. This perhaps represents the power shift away from the ancient matriarchal society. This shift in power is represented in many of the myths of the sun deities. She empowers women spiritually and gives people vital principles to live by. She is equivalent to the philosopher Confucius. This Japanese Shinto goddess name means great shining heaven. She is the head of the Japanese pantheon, and her emblem, the rising sun, appears on the Japanese flag. Japanese goddess Benten. She is the Japanese goddess of good speech, wisdom, and music. She represents the archetype of leadership and divine guidance through music. Japanese goddess Azanaji and Azanami. Azanami is the goddess of heaven and earth. She is the archetype of the ideal relationship where man and women are equal companions to each other in everything they do. Egyptian goddess Isis. Isis is the fertility goddess and goddess of magic and healing are some of her most important roles. She is the sister wife of Osiris. She is also a goddess of human beings. Isis' archetype shows how women have great devotion and commitment in a relationship. Because in her myth, she travels the world, all throughout the world, in search for her husband. Egyptian goddess Nut. She was the goddess of the sky and all heavenly bodies. Also, she was a symbol of resurrection and rebirth. She is the primal mother giving birth to famous gods and goddesses of Egypt. For example, she gave birth to Osiris. Egyptian goddess Hathor. She expresses the bovine goddess. She represents the power of the cosmos by being a cow with four heads, pointing four directions to the four corners of the sky. She was the goddess of solar deity who was linked to music, dance, joy, fertility, and birth. She was the personification of the Milky Way, which was viewed as the celestial waterway upon which both the sun god Ra and the king sailed. Her role as a fertility goddess is also highlighted by one of her titles, the gentle cow of heaven, referring to her plentiful supply of milk which was used to nurse the pharaoh, making him a divine being. She is the archetype of wisdom and knowledge. Egyptian goddess Bastet. She is the feline-headed love, sex, fertility goddess. She represents women's primal sexual well-being. The Egyptian cat goddess Bast had numerous areas of influence that developed over time. In the early days, she was the fierce lion-headed goddess of the lower Nile who protected the pharaoh and the sun god Ra. This is why her title of goddess is sometimes goddess of protection. In this role, she became the goddess of the rising sun and holder of the Utchet, the all-seeing eye of Horus. Babylon goddess Isitar. She is the goddess of fertility. She is the archetype of wisdom for women, in her myth, she is always in search of knowledge and she understands life more fully than anyone else. Aztec goddess Xochitl. She is the goddess of horticulture. She inspires women through faith and understanding of Mother Nature. She is the archetype of a nowadays farmer woman who lives off the land. Arabian goddesses. Manet. She is the goddess of rain. She represents women in health, victory, and destiny. Alat or Alit. She was called Mother of Gods and Mother of the Sun. She shows that women could be protectors as she protected travelers that traveled on her land.